Hello, this is Ian from the fourth place, Dungeon Master of Heroes of Four Worlds. We are live with Heroes of Four Worlds, our actual play D&D campaign. What that means is that we are going to tell a story for you using Dungeons & Dragons live on TV on the internet. You'll notice that tonight we are down one person. Clove, who plays Lamia, can't join us this evening, but it works out fairly well because the party was a little bit separated. So just to start things off, our giveaway reminder. Every time one of us rolls a natural one, I will not notice it, and someone in the cast will have to remind me, at which point... That's new, that part of the
not
world.
Inaccurate.
Exactly. You will have a chance to win some free stickers from the fourth place sticker club. So whenever we reach 25 viewers, that first giveaway on the show will be upgraded, or the first one after we reach 25 viewers will be upgraded to a free Heroes of Four Worlds t-shirt. There are some terms that apply. It's only open to people 18 and up. They have to comment on the Twitch chat with the code word that I give them at the time. They also need to follow us on Twitch. They need to be in the United States and all of that other stuff that you have to be to qualify for most giveaways in the US of A. When it's time for the giveaway, and I'm reminded duly, I will tell you the code word to type in chat, and the first person who types it after that is the one who's going to win the prize. And now I'm going to introduce the cast. So as I introduce each player who's here, they'll introduce themselves and their characters a little, including their name and pronouns, their character's name and pronouns, maybe something about their character, maybe something about where their character's at lately. That's really optional. So to begin with, I will, as always, start with Cage.
What's up, everybody? I'm Cage. I use she, hers pronouns, and I'll be playing Tanya, the Turtle Barbarian, who also uses she, hers pronouns, and she must protect Egg.
She must protect Egg. Mm-hmm. Next, I will introduce Tucker.
Hey there, I'm Tucker. I use she, he, or they pronouns. I play Nicodemus, who uses he pronouns. He is trying to figure out why these people were trying to kidnap his friend.
And finally, for the show, I will introduce Eric.
Hi, I'm Eric, he, him. I'm playing Dimma, the Wizard of Legend, he or they. And Dimma has spent one day back in the world for the first time in ages, and suddenly there are some people being all nasty and such, and so now he's tearing them apart with entropy.
Oh no.
You know, the usual.
That sounds about right. So just to catch everyone up, and I'm going to try to only say what's needed. Everyone who knows me knows I cannot say in 10 words what can be better said than 600. So for those who haven't watched lately, here's what you need to know about the event so far. Lamia and Nika are twin demigod paladins who grew up on the moon in the sanctuary of their mother Eris, the goddess of strife. On the eve of their big coming-of-age quest as paladins of Eris, Lamia ran away from home and traded her paladin vows for a pact with a fey spirit, who sort of showed up in the form of Dimma, our wizard. Nicodemus ended up deciding to come with them, which led to a bit of a teleportation accident. The whole party, including Tanya, ended up caught up in that accident and transported to the disintegrating realm of dreams, where they fought for their lives and collected as many prophecies as they could until they began to question whether they even should, and the place began to fully disintegrate around them. They then ended up on a secluded beach back in the world on the way to Colophon, a seaport town of philosophers, to seek more answers. And they were packing up their camp when they were attacked by a group of mysterious monks with trained blink dogs. Our heroes did surprisingly well in that fight until the monk read off of an ancient palimpsest, which caused everyone to scatter in horror. We left our heroes, almost all of their opponents were down. Clove was running away some distance down the road with Maraaja to keep her from these... Lamia, to keep Maraaja from these folks who were apparently trying to take Maraaja away. Some of the enemies, I think one blink dog had just fully run off the map. All the rest of the enemies were unconscious and bleeding on the ground, and one enemy, the leader of the pack of monks, was invisible and running away. Did I miss anything that you guys think is important? Then let's get right back into it. So if I have things correctly, I believe it was Dimma's turn. I don't remember if Dimma had just taken a turn. I think you had. Is that correct?
I feel like I just cast Weight of Ages.
Yep.
And nothing else has happened since.
I think that sounds right, which means our next turn will go to Nico.
Okay, just making sure we took down all of the enemies thus far.
So all of the enemies that are down and within range, you can see here. One enemy is somewhere. I think you, I guess you know that they're around. See if I can make a ping happen here.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Oh, right. Did she make herself invisible? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. So
right.
she went invisible and then ran. Dimma or somebody, I think it was Dimma, could see footprints in the sand, and so was able to guess the rough location and zapped her with a spell.
Okay.
Right.
Well, Nico can't run in that direction because that screaming, making us all scared thing is still active.
Oh yeah, so you can make a save on the beginning of your turn. It is a DC 19 Wisdom save.
Do you have an advantage on this, or did that go away?
I think we determined that wasn't an advantage because it wasn't an aberration that caused it.
Yes, that's right.
That sounds right. I think it's a strange.
What was the the DC 19?
And you made an 18, which is a fails.
Okay.
So you can't go towards.
No, but I can throw another hand axe in the general direction of wherever Dimma had. So we'll roll at disadvantage.
Oh, because it's out of the short range, the regular range. Yep.
Well, also the person.
Oh, right. So you only get disadvantage once. So let's see what happens.
So that's one roll, and that makes 2 rolls. 14 is the lowest roll.
14 is the lowest roll. That is not currently going to hit the monk.
Boo. Let's see here. Nope, that's it for me.
All right. That brings us to everyone who's unconscious, and then Tanya. Oh, you are muted.
Freaking A muted. Okay. If I remember correctly, Tanya threw her trident and does not have it back yet.
That sounds right. Which also suggests that Tanya hasn't saved yet.
I think
remember?
that might be true.
I feel like you would have rushed if you.
Yeah. You said it's a wisdom save?
Yep.
Woo!
That'll do it. 22.
That is sufficient. You now get to take a normal turn.
Okay, but we still don't know where this character is, right?
Some
if you
of
can do
have
anything,
figured it out.
But if you can, they'll be running. If you can do anything to help make it more visible, that will serve us all.
I mean, all I do is punch.
Can you hit
also
the
stab.
sand with you? Ooh. Sorry.
Sorry. I was just saying you also stab.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Can you hit the sand with your shell to make like a?
I mean, I guess I could try to like throw sand.
You're not on the sand, so you could try to
No,
throw
but I
your
can
shield.
get there.
Yeah, you could get there and then throw sand. That's true. To create like a.
Go like here, because the character disappeared somewhere around here, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
And that's where I'm pointing, right? Like I pointed with my spell, and it seems to have hit.
Well, and I already had thrown something in that general direction too, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, your trident. So you had a yep. You're in the right direction.
So I guess what I would like to do, I wonder too. Okay, maybe what I will try and do. Tell me if this is too much in one action. So I ran in that direction, and I think while I'm running, I'll try and pick up like a clawful of sand to like toss. But maybe I could also like with my other hand grab like, because I don't have the trident in my hand anymore. I could grab like my rope and try and like swing the rope around to see if I hit anything.
So picking up some sand on your way could be your free object interaction. So that doesn't use up an action. Taking out your rope. If you're, so taking out your rope and using it for something very simple, I think is appropriate for an action. I technically, Actually, let me think. No, you would need to use your bonus action to take it out because that's a free object interaction normally. You've already used one of those. So I would let you use your bonus action to also do a free object interaction and then your action to do something useful.
Okay.
That seems fair and balanced.
So this is the swing a cat tactic.
Well, but
Basically.
but swing some sand, which is what you asked for.
No, you said swing. She said
I want to swing the
right?
rope around to
the
see if the
rope.
rope catches on anything.
Oh, I see. Right. Right. So you're gonna.
So I wouldn't grab the sand. I would just like as if I was splashing somebody with water. I want to just throw some sand as I'm running, and then take the rope and swing the rope around and see if it hits anybody.
So you can grab sand, and then you could either throw the sand or you could throw the rope. But you wouldn't be able to grab sand, throw sand, and take out a rope.
Okay, I'm gonna skip the sand thing. I think I'm just gonna take the rope. It's 50 feet, so if I swing it around, I'm bound to hit something, right?
Oh, you're just gonna like whip it around and see what you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're
We
doing.
just
Okay.
know the general location of this person.
Yep.
I imagine that the person is within like 5 to 10 feet of where I'm standing. So if I just swing that sucker around,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to do damage or anything. I'm just trying to locate them.
Yep. All right. So I think the way this would work is I will let you make I'm going to call it an attack with disadvantage.
Okay. Which I'm raging, I believe, still.
I believe you're raging, so that would be a regular attack in that case. Yep. And we'll see how this goes because I don't know either. Wait, are you making this attack recklessly too? To do?
Can I do that if I don't?
Wait, so that's right. Raging doesn't give you advantage. Recklessness gives you advantage.
You're right.
So you'd have to make it recklessly, which would open you up potentially if you want.
Do it. They're not going to attack you.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, they probably want to attack you.
Recklessly attacking.
Okay.
I'm recklessly swinging this rope to and fro.
Yep.
So do you just want me to do like a strength check?
Do a improvised weapon attack. That would be appropriate. It's not so much for the damage; it's for the hit.
How do I do that on here though?
I think improvise. I believe, and let me look on D&D Beyond that under your attacks.
Because I have a claw attack and an unarmed strike.
Yep. Right, and and those seem to include your proficiency. So I think what we'd be doing here, you'd be doing a D20 plus your strength modifier. So yeah, it's the same as a strength check. But not the same as a strength save, I'm afraid.
Oh, I hit the wrong thing.
Yep.
Still good enough. You can subtract the small amount. Those are good rolls.
Yep. I believe
I'm
that
sorry.
still gets you
So it's
there.
only +4, not plus.
I mean,
It'd be -4.
Yeah.
Your first roll is a nat 20 if you chose to be reckless.
No, because reckless was countering the disadvantage of the person being invisible, but that's still sufficient. And what that means is that go ahead.
But if it counters the disadvantage, that means it's just a regular roll. So the first one would have won.
You're right.
Yeah.
I see. Yep,
I'm sorry. Right. I don't know what I'm doing clearly.
No, we nailed it. You got it. So you swatted that person with a rope. And it is very clear where they are. They're not grappled by the rope, but it sort of wrapped around their waist, 1.5 times, so you can see exactly where they are, which I will allow to make it easier to hit them.
Nice.
On subsequent turns. So you have like tagged them basically.
Nice. Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now they have to be careful. So because they could take an action to get the rope off of them, but then that would use up their action.
Yep.
So what am I going to do as this monk? Because it's their turn next. Yeah. Let's see.
Is it their turn next?
Yes. It doesn't show up on your turn order because I made them invisible.
Oh, I was just seeing the other monk on there.
Yep. Oh,
gotcha.
So let's see. I think I have. Oh, wait. So they have to take their action to get the rope off, which means they can't take another action. I'm going to say yep. So you can see the rope kind of like flop off of them. And then I have to think how I narrate this while I think about what I'm going to do. I got it. I know what to do. As long as this roll works. Okay. So the rope drops. And I don't believe, yes. Okay, the rope drops and you don't see the rest of what happens, I think, because none of you have a passive perception enough to see.
My fastest perception is 15.
That is not sufficient.
Worth a try.
Yep. So that is their action. Oh, yep. And I've got it. I know what they can do. This is tough. This is fun. I actually have to strategize a lot to see if I can keep this poor person alive.
You don't have to.
I mean, but you know, like they want to give you a challenge. They feel like they'd rather live and give you a good hunt than simply let you kill them. Just need to check some stuff that I can't narrate, which makes this great television.
So I'll let people know while you do that. Like, so since I think I'll be going next, right? My current thinking is that there were two possibilities here, both of which are pretty good for us. One, they would run. Running could get them out of my range because my spell, like, as long as my spell stays on them, then like we're in reasonably good shape, right? My spell ends if if they're like more than 30 feet away from me. If they run, then you lose a lot of the benefits of invisibility when you're running. Easier to know where you are.
What does Weight of Ages do again?
1d12 damage per turn for up to a minute. Ends if I do anything else. But I don't have to do an attack roll each time. So,
it's not literally anything else, I think.
And if I take another action.
Oh, yep. Oh, is it really any? Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So it's that's why it isn't a totally unfair spell.
Yep.
But sorry. Yeah.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. I just have something to narrate once you're done.
Yeah. So if they run, then I can follow, right? Because that. If they try to sneak, then or do anything makes them slow down, then I can go to where they were, and they probably won't have gotten more than 30 feet away. So I should be able to keep it trained on them. Gotcha. But I won't know what direction. So the next turn they'll probably escape. That's my current thinking.
Okay, cool. So Tanya, what you see again is the rope sort of like clearly being unwrapped and dropped. Yes, you see a glass vial, the shape of a pyramid, drop to the ground. Ooh. Empty.
And what square is that on?
It is there in that square.
I didn't see anything.
Nothing showed up.
Oh, it didn't?
Like they're invisible or something?
Well, I did the ping.
There we go.
A ping occurs. Yes, there. But it's close enough to Tanya that Tanya would totes see it. Just a little pyramidal glass vial, shaped kind of like a D4.
It's a caltrop.
It's a caltrap. And on that, we are back around to Dimma's turn.
Yep. So as I was saying, right, so I move here.
Okay.
Right, because like and now I'm just like channeling the spell out, right? Being like, I don't actually know where they are, but I'll feel it end, right,
well,
if they get
right,
far away.
It's on them, right? So
yeah.
And then it lets you for free roll damage, is that right?
Exactly. I mean, for free, I put in one action and I get a d12 damage out.
Yeah.
So we're gonna roll that now.
Yeah. So
and I use my bonus action to keep my magic sight active. Right, like I know that magic sight does not see invisibility. I understand.
Yep, that would be too good. With your magic sight active, you can see healing and alchemy on the on the vial.
Yep. And I rolled poorly. It's too hard to focus.
So there's no plus on that, right? So
yeah, it's just a straight d12.
I mean,
It's all fate.
You got one enemy who was pretty badly hurt. So, all right. So that's all three of your possible actions, I believe. You can use a free object interaction to high five with Tanya, and that brings it around to Nico's turn.
All right. Wisdom saving throw. Big money, big money, big money.
No whammies, no whammies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that landed with like a thud on my animation. It looked really
Yeah,
sad.
me too.
Dunk.
I actually rolled twice, but it doesn't matter. The first one didn't. Neither of them were good enough.
Yep. So you are still afeared.
And Nicodemus is out of hand axes, but he still does have daggers, so he's gonna try to throw one in that.
Now remember, you can't move. Sorry, you can't move towards. And I'm being somewhat generous with this now after I thought of the rules between sessions. But you can't move towards the square with the purple box around it specifically.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I can actually keep moving as long as I'm 25 feet away from it. So I'm going to keep scooching.
Right. You can. Yeah. Exactly. You can keep your same. You can't get closer to it. Is that? Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha.
You actually cannot occupy the square of that tent
Oh,
unless
right.
you want to get into it, which would slow you down.
Yep, it's okay. Because I have squat nimbleness, I can. It's gonna make it me harder.
Yeah,
'cause that's
you can. The tent is not such an object that you can't dodge around it freely, but that one square, I would say, you'd have to be inside to be there.
No, that's fine. But no, but then I'm moving further away from the scared home, and then I can't get closer.
Ah.
But that's fine. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and I have squat nimbleness, so I can...
Now remember, you could also squeeze through the square with your friends so that you're not getting closer when you do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can walk through allies.
Oh, perfect. All right, so I'll do that, and I'm going to throw a dagger in that same square, hoping they haven't moved, but they probably moved.
Oh, okay. Throwing it into the square with the where the potion fell, which you can see.
And I know I'm still at disadvantage, but that's okay.
Yep. So make your ranged attack with disadvantage.
And does that just get thrown through? So if they head back in that direction, they just keep going in that direction?
I will have to, if they're in that direction, I'll have to do some fudging, which I will now watch the results.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I rolled a natural 1 at disadvantage, so...
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah, well...
Yep. You,
Ding, ding, ding!
You know what that means.
You successfully discard one dagger. It may be hard to find in the dirt.
I am just running out of thrown weapons at this point.
But, however, the good news is where you lost a dagger, you
gained a
gained
friend.
stickers.
Oh, yes, you're right. Let us see there. So let me get over into the chat and watch this properly this time. So for anyone's watching, if you are interested, what you need to do is when I say so, type the word friend into the chat after I say the other magic word, which is go. I will watch the chat for a bit and see if anyone types that in, and we can carry on with play. Is there anything else you're doing on your turn? I saw a move and an action, Nico.
That's it for Nico.
I cannot believe this person is still alive. I'm really, they are really lucky with the turn order. A bunch of dead, or at least unconscious monks and blink dogs choose not to do anything further, which brings it around to Tanya's turn.
Yeah.
They don't really choose, they're down.
My rope trick won't work now because I'll just hit all of y'all.
Right.
But I will certainly pick my rope back up. Tanya won't know right from left in terms of what could have been in this empty vial, so she's not going to care so much about the contents of that vial. I'm no longer afraid, so I could run in that direction. I don't know which direction they would have went in, though. Well, I guess just to try and see, she'll go out this way, and she'll try the rope trick again.
Around. Okay, so in all the squares around?
Yeah.
All right, make a improvised weapon, or which is the same as a strength ability check.
And this time I'll do it correctly.
With disadvantage unless you are recklessly
Be regular.
swinging.
So 17. Because I'm recklessly swinging.
Yep. You do not catch anyone in your rope this time.
Okay. Tanya will say as much. I don't think anything's near me.
All right, this is really interesting. I have to think like, what are we gonna do? So is that the end of your turn, Tanya?
Yeah. She moved a little. Well, I guess I could move more if I wanted to.
You could.
Can I wade through that stream, or is it too deep?
I will say that is difficult terrain.
We'd probably notice if they were going through it, right?
You
Oh
might.
yeah, we would probably see if they went in the water.
Which, come to think of it, there's a lot more water around here than I thought. Huh.
I'll move down here just in case. Okay.
Okay. So you move down there. That's your okay. I assume that's all of your actions.
Yeah, that's
All
everything.
right, let me just see. So, this is interesting. I did not prepare a token for this because I didn't know I'd need to use it. Bear with me one moment. Actually, so for now, what I will do is I'll do it during your turns so that it's easier. So, what you see next is a here. Tell me if you see that ping or not. I'll do two. I'll do one of the other account just in case.
Yeah, I see
there. A shimmering, sort of intangible-looking bow staff appears.
Oh. Hello.
You kept your sight up, I believe, so you would see with that the presence of evocation magic. And then, Dimma, you... How do I do this? Let's see. I've never done this spell before. Oh, right. Yep. This is a... Let's do it this way. And that's actually going to be missing a little, but... so that is a... ignore the does an 18 hit your armor class?
Yes.
All right. So, you take...
I was thinking, oh, it's a good thing I still have a few temporary hit points.
Mm-hmm. Good thing.
Yeah.
There is an addition to that, which I have to look up now.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Just one. So you take 5...
Whew.
Oh God! Oh no! I'm sorry, but that is accurate. You take 5. I believe it's just bludgeoning damage.
Oh wait, did they make an attack roll yet?
Yes, they made it. It was a spell attack roll.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't see it in the thing.
Oh, that may have. You know what? Sorry, that the attack roll was whispered to myself because of the way I rolled it. But it was an 18 to hit Dimma.
Yep. Yeah.
Like,
yikes. Okay.
Oh wait, never mind. I don't think that matters.
Which I imagine with 5 damage, Dim, are you down?
Okay, I
had 3 temporary hit points and 4 hit points, so I'm not quite down.
Nice. Excellent. All right. And then...
What was that, Kate?
I don't know if this will count. Hold on.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did hit.
Yeah, but I think it's only on that turn, and I didn't hit this turn.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, your rage is down because you were neither damaged nor.
Well, that's not
attacked.
what I was thinking about. I was thinking about something else, but that's also true.
No, last turn you did make an attack, so you're still.
It's until
you made an attack. You're right. It's not hit. It's take damage or make an attack. So you're still raging.
Yeah. So if next turn.
Okay, I was thinking about my ancestral protectors.
Oh.
Oh, giving them disadvantage?
Yeah, but it's only on that one turn that you hit the person, and since I didn't actually hit them...
Yep.
Yeah, and I'll allow swinging a rope wildly to count as making an attack, but it's not an attack that deals damage, so...
Okay, so my rage is still up, and ancestral protectors didn't count because I didn't hit. But I was trying to think of ancestral protectors to see if they would have been at disadvantage against you. But because I didn't hit that turn, it doesn't count.
I appreciate the effort.
Yeah. Because then you also would have had resistance too.
Oh yeah.
They would have still hit with disadvantage because I accidentally rolled 2 dice. So.
Well, it would have taken half the damage at least.
Oh, that would have been nice. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really worried when I saw 5. I forgot about the temporary hit points. I was pretty sure I had just flattened Dimma.
I mean, you know, Dimma's overextending.
Listen, it's no fun playing a glass cannon unless you cannon and don't worry about the glass until it's too late.
I mean, it's fine. He's next to a paladin, right?
I'm trying not to bank on that, but I'm totally banking on that.
It does help. All right. That ends the monk's turn and brings us around to Dimma.
So I guess the first question is, is my spell still going on?
Yep, you can still roll.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's very interesting.
So they're still within how many feet? I think so, yeah.
30 feet.
Let me just double check. Yes.
Okay. And spiritual weapons, can I leave it? Do I provoke an opportunity attack if I...
Spiritual weapons do not take attacks of opportunity. They are melee attacks from that square, but they have to be activated with a bonus action. So
Sorry, con save?
You took damage. You have to make a concentration save for Weight of Ages.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know. Do I?
Oh, right. I always forget about concentrate. Do you have to take one? Yep.
Mm-mm.
And I have to check whether they have to take one for hitting Weight of Ages. Is this a concentration spell? Spiritual weapon is not, so they don't have to make one. But if Weight of Ages says concentration, then it's a DC 10.
It is indeed.
Or half the damage you took, whichever is...
yeah, so DC 10.
Higher, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a Constitution save, yes?
Yeah, DC 10, basically.
Okay. Oh, I'm terrible at those.
It's great to have an extra person to think of all the scary rules.
Oh my goodness.
Nicely done. You maintain the Weight of Ages.
Yes. Okay, yeah. So, yes, first I then maintain the Weight of Ages.
Yep. And then you did you roll your... Oh, no, you haven't yet.
Solid. There we go. Mm.
And then they take... When that die stops rolling, I will...
Yeah, it was slow for me, too. It ended up as an 8. I don't even know where it showed up for you.
All right. They take their...
I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4...
did you already save? I believe you did. Have you saved from the fear?
I saved at the beginning.
That's what I thought. Okay, so
it's never affected me.
You even were put under fear, were you?
Correct. 6.
Oh, you saved the very first time. Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna move, like, kind of sidle along to here. Yep. Right, like judging where they're likely to have escaped to. I'm not loving my chances, but yeah.
Are you? Yep. Okay. Yep.
And I activate.
Make a perception check.
Oh, okay. Can I do that? Okay, sure.
I'll let you do that.
Did that just roll?
This is fascinating. I did not know how this would go, folks.
Woo!
Oh. Yep.
So sorry, is it before or after I moved? I was moving assuming that I was just flying blind.
I'm going to say it's you move.
Okay, sounds good.
So what you see is, with that check, you see that there are footprints that you're sort of following-ish, heading towards... Oh, I probably have to ping for some reason you can't see my DM pings, so I'll ping on the other one. Heading towards there.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, fantastic. My instincts are strong. Okay.
So we have an idea now of where this character is? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think I would like...
You can share that.
Out, hey, look, footprints!
Yeah.
Also... and yeah, I activate magic sight.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Which brings us around to Nico.
Okay. Still trying to stay in the outside radius of this thingy.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, start with you get to start with a wisdom save.
Start with your wisdom save, right?
Yep.
All right. That's right.
Wisdom save DC 19.
Wah, wah.
That is not.
It's a really scary.
Oh, that's rough.
Books by Nemesis. All right, so I guess I'm gonna have to keep running on this outer bank here to like be at 35 feet away.
Yep. And if a square is fully water, I'm going to make this simple. If a square is fully water, it's difficult terrain.
That's fair.
Just keep it simple.
Let's see here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. If I go here, am I still... Yes, we're good. All right.
What's your movement speed?
35. I have squat nimbleness.
That's funny.
Let's see here.
For those watching at home, Tucker is a bit of a munchkin.
What? You guys didn't figure that out when I murder rated like 3 people in 3 rounds?
But like, if there's a feat that's better than the other ones, Tucker has it.
Probably. And I'm addicted to feats. All right, I'm going to throw a dagger in the direction Dimma's pointing at, and that is it for my thrown weapons.
Okay, so make your thrown weapon attack with disadvantage.
You'll have to start picking up sharp rocks.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Well, there's probably a trident and a dagger floating around there somewhere. I don't remember where I threw them last episode.
Ooh.
18's the lowest roll.
Unfortunate. Let's see. So what is the range of your daggers?
20, but, well, it's got 20, and then at the furthest range is 60, and I'm already at disadvantage.
You're at disadvantage because of...
The fear effect?
because you're, yep, that sounds right. 1, 2, 3.
But you're at 15 feet away anyway, right, from where we think they are.
Well,
Where you think they are. Yep. I'm going to say, with that roll, well, make a perception check, everyone.
Everyone?
Everyone?
Yeah, let's, actually, no, just Dimma and Nico, I think, from where you are.
Perception. What do...
Damn, because I got +5.
Woo!
Let's just burn all the rolls on this one fight.
Yeah.
We'll deal with later we'll just be
That's
shopping.
great.
We don't need to roll.
Okay, so Dimma, you notice a dagger briefly plunge into midair.
Oh.
There.
They were sneaky.
So roll your dagger damage.
Dagger damage, and do I have any spells left to make that? Oh, actually, I think it's a melee. Melee's at the...
Yeah, I think you have to melee to smoot.
That's probably it.
What's the
All right.
damage on your daggers? Let's see.
It's a D4 plus my strength.
Okay.
Buttons.
Ooh.
Maxed it out.
So that's
6 points.
6.
Oh, wait, that isn't maxed out. That's... No, I made it.
That's
I
min.
forgot I'm just super strong.
Yeah.
Oh, right, I'm a demigod.
Yeah, you are wicked strong. Wow. Okay, cool. That again is an unexpected result.
This thing's got to be almost dead, right?
Yeah. So Dimma was it? Yeah, catches the dagger going into something, and then disappearing.
All right, that is it for Nico.
Oh yeah. Yes, because
They're
that's
carrying it
a
now.
property of imaginary field. Yeah. And,
I'm just assuming that they are now
invisibility
carrying
field.
it
Right.
in their flesh. And that brings it around to Tanya's turn.
So I think that this creature is like here.
No.
If
saw it over
Dimma
here.
points,
Yeah.
Oh,
Then
it's
you
back to here.
Which also means that they've gotten over their fear of their own creation.
I wonder if that's why they drank a potion.
Ooh. Right, it's so far away.
Okay.
did you pick up your? Oh, Tanya, don't forget you have not picked up your trident.
I don't know where it is. I don't
I-
remember where I threw it.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna say for the sake of, that it's.
I also have a dagger somewhere
Ooh.
too.
That's a good place for it to be.
Okay, well I'm gonna move there and I'm gonna pick that bad boy up,
So you can move there, use your free object interaction to pick up your weapon.
and then I'm gonna throw it right away.
Nice. Have you saved too? Yeah. So you. Oh man, this might be it for our intrepid hero. And by hero I
This
mean
be it.
villain. I have to check.
What's that? 25 feet.
Yep.
Do I have more movement yet? Where was I? Here? Oh, I can still move another square.
Mm-hmm. I have to see if they have any defensive.
You're right with the running and the throwing.
Like an Olympic javelin thrower, just like
Yep.
running midway through, grabbing it,
All right.
and still running.
So Tanya makes a mad dash, but not mechanically dashing, just flavorfully speaking.
We call it a flailing run if it's not the dash action.
She recklessly runs. Because she's also going to recklessly throw
All right.
this trident.
Which will cancel out the disadvantage of someone being
Correct.
invisible.
I think because I'm raging that it's going to automatically roll it with advantage, so we'll just have to take the first one.
Yep.
Oh no, it doesn't think I'm raging yet still. Okay. Well, that's 17 then, or 23, I mean. So I assume that hits.
That does hit. Roll your damage.
So that's 2 plus 4 plus 2, that's 8 damage.
All right. With that, you see the unconscious body of a bleeding monk, who I will now put back on the map. You have did it.
Hooray!
I wasn't sure how that was going to go. That incredibly high roll on the dagger, I decided was enough since it was in a straight line to hit.
Does that turn off the book from screaming at us, or is it still screaming at us?
It is still screaming at you.
Ugh.
But the monk's turn is over. Tanya's turn is probably over.
Yeah, that's all I got.
So Dimma.
Gotta be honest, Dimma releases the Weight of Ages spell, and I think collapses onto the sand. I'm pretty badly hurt.
Yes.
Like, ah!
Yeah.
Bad news is you collapse out of range of your paladin, who cannot get closer to where you are.
Ha ha. That's amazing.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is so good, y'all.
Like,
All
All right, let me make
So
a
we're
wisdom
sort of
saving.
so I think we're not really in combat except for Nico's need to make saves.
Oh my god, that's a 17.
All right. It is past 7:45. Would folks like to take our traditional 15-minute break?
I feel like this is a good pause point.
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
You just took someone down?
Yep.
All right. Then what I'm going to do, let me just do the thing with the things. I am going to stop the stream. But first I'm going to say to everyone, what happens now is we take a 15-minute break. So the stream will briefly stop and then a sign will go up so that people know that we're on a break. And we will be back at, let's call it 8:05 p.m. Eastern to rejoin you and see what our heroes do with all these bodies.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Loot!
Hello, everybody. I'm Ian from the Fourth Place, and we are back on Heroes of Four Worlds after our union-mandated break. We left our heroes. They had just incapacitated the elder monk who had led an attack on them to try to take Maraaja away from the party. I think we last had Dimma's turn, and Dimma had collapsed in the sand, finally realizing that maybe it's not safe to run around with 2 hit points. And with that, we will get to Nico's turn, I believe. Nico, did you fail your save right at the end of the last?
Yep, that's a 17.
All right, so we already had that. Okay. So you still have the rest of your turn if you have any actions or bonus actions or maybe any spells that can...
Yeah, no spells that will reach him, but I can at least lay on hands for myself because I'm fairly hurt as well. And then somebody please turn that book off and heal myself for 5.
Yeah, the book is still screaming. And I guess everyone can hear it, but only Nico is currently, is it rattling in his brain?
Yeah.
All right. That brings us to a bunch of unconscious enemies, and next, Tanya.
So Tanya has no idea how to turn this book off, but she's going to run up to that square, grab her trident, and try and just stab it as hard as she can.
To stab the scroll. I had never thought of that action. I guess make an attack roll.
You realize there's a barbarian on this team, right?
Right. Like I could read this, or I could poke it with my stick.
Do I get advantage because I'm?
It is prone. That scroll lying on the. Actually, well, let's assume the scroll is in the monk's hand, I guess, because they did run away with it. But
I mean, I've been just kind of recklessly attacking everything, so I'd get advantage.
Yeah,
right?
you get advantage. I think you would get advantage anyways because the scroll is prone.
Okay. Would a 17 hit the scroll?
17 will hit the scroll and pierce it, but it doesn't explode or anything.
Oh. Does it do anything to it?
I mean, it like tears a hole in it and it's stuck on your trident now.
But it's still yelling?
Still screaming. In fact, keep in mind the screaming has always been coming from that square, not from the scroll, which was moving around with the.
Oh.
And yeah, it's not something physical. I mean, it's a good starting point.
I figure Tanya would get super upset and just be like, ah, and like with the trident. Like sometimes if you get like you're roasting marshmallows and your marshmallow catches on fire and you kind of like shake it around. Tanya's got this scroll on the end of her trident, and now it's just screaming, pierces the end of her trident, and she's just like shaking it around, like, make it stop.
Okay, so as a bonus action, you shake it like a Polaroid picture, and the palimpsest falls off of your trident onto the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Still, remember, it's not screaming. The screaming is clearly coming from, sort of chest height. I think that's probably Tanya's turn. Which brings us around to Dima, I believe.
Not Nico?
No, you're before Nico.
Okay. Well, I have dramatically, and I didn't seem to get me anything, so that's a little bit unfortunate. And out of spell
that's
slots.
important.
I guess I'll do any of these help?
Realizing that as a wizard, your utility spells are only a certain kind of utility is always a fun moment.
Yep. Yeah.
Loot the body. Maybe she's got something good on her.
You know what I remember? You know what doesn't take concentration to maintain?
What?
Unseen Servant.
What?
It lasts an hour.
Oh. Do you still have it up from before?
I mean, I woke up, I cast it, and within like 5 minutes we were attacked.
Yep.
And then this battle took another couple of minutes.
Yeah, you've got your unseen servant somewhere on the battlefield. Let's say we're
right?
only,
So lying on the ground, I'm like, oh right. I sent it to loot the body.
You send it to loot the body?
Yep.
Well, here's the thing. You can control it, but it can't see for you, so you'll have trouble looting the body. So why don't you make a dexterity check and a perception check to see how the unseen servant manages this task for you?
Sure. It does say the servant can perform simple tasks a human servant could do.
Okay.
Cleaning, mending, folding clothes.
Okay, then you can loot the body. So you ask it to loot the body. All right. Make a perception check to see whether you can see what it's taking out, nonetheless.
That I like.
And that'll give me a second to bring up the loot list.
Yeah, 15.
All right. You see from your vantage point that the monk is wearing a set of clothing, has a ancient vellum scrolly looking thing, which we will call a palimpsest, not to confuse it with the mechanics of a scroll, some gold, and what looks like 2 gems, a black one and a blue one. That's probably what you
I think it just like would take them and like set them aside, right, to make them nice and visible, right? Yep. Like it doesn't have any pockets.
Right. Yeah, it can just pick them up and invisibly hold them. No, does it invisibly hold them, or does it set them down in the sand?
No, it sets them down in the sand, just makes them nice and visible.
Okay, just so like waves them at you and then plunk. Yeah. Okay, yep. So
good work. Yep.
Yeah, so we'll have to track this at some point because right now nobody in the party has it, but that is some fine clothes.
I mean, I'm on the same square as what's happening right now, right?
Yeah, well, you could just take them from it. That would be
But
acceptable.
you see just
Instead
like
of placing it in the sand, the unseen servant just drops it into my shell.
That works.
or like I could just imagine it's your hand being out and it's just like plunk.
Yep.
All right, so Tanya,
Perfect. Tanya has it.
record
I like
that you have. Well, does the this is important, I suppose. Does the unseen servant undress this person, or only take the palimpsest, gold, and gems?
Just taking the stuff for now. I'm not gonna bother with
Okay.
clothes.
Yep. It's a nice set of clothes.
Maybe someone else will.
Only pierced 3 times. 5 times?
Well, and yeah, and
There
oh, right,
was
and of
a
course
dagger
This person,
and a trident.
a significant portion of the damage they took was like time damage. So I don't know. About all right, that is probably Dimma's turn.
Yep.
Nico, back around to you to make a save. Let's have you make 3 saves in a row to start speeding this up. Just because we're not really in full combat time.
Oh, the first one.
Hey, first
Nice.
one! Woo!
All right.
Okay, that's better.
Yep, so now you are free of this, and we can go out of combat time completely, and people can just do what they want to do. There is an unconscious monk, an apparently dead, 3 apparently dead monks, and a apparently dead blink dog.
9 points of healing to Dimma.
Oh my! Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Tanya will just have like her handful of stuff that the servant gave her, and just like bring it over to Nico and Dimma, because like she's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this.
This just hovered over to me.
I think this is yours.
Upon closer inspection, there is the you see an let's see how I can describe this, an ancient vellum, meaning like a some sort of a hide or skin with strange letters on it. If anyone looks closely, we can check their languages to see. 27 gold, and a 10 GP obsidian and a 10 GP agate. That's a black stone and a blue one.
Fancy.
And then what else do you remember? You've got other bodies, and this person is breathing.
The elder monk.
The elder monk is still breathing, but is out.
Okay. Nico will start tying her up.
You have rope? Yep.
And once he's done with that, he'll go and check to see if these people are alive.
Yep. So all of the rest appear to be dead. At a cursory, there's a lot of blood and not any breathing.
Is the blink dog still there?
The blink dog is there and appears to be dead.
Oh, now that's actually sad.
Yep.
Did that.
Well,
Question.
actually, yeah. So it's dead. Actually, let me think. Yeah.
Yeah.
They all appear to be dead. You need to make a medicine check to know for sure. They don't appear to be breathing, and they look not good. But to be sure, would be a medicine check for each.
Do you want 4? Okay, 1.
If you
2,
wanna, if you're gonna take the time to, check for breathing and a pulse or whatever.
So I don't know about these first 2, but maybe the half giant monk and the blink dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you can tell that the blink dog is unconscious and fading fast.
Hey, this blink dog could use attention. I roll another medicine check to see if I can help it somehow, or is it an Arcana check?
Well, I think to know if you can heal it.
Well, no, I want to stabilize it.
So to stabilize it, you could use your lay on hands if you have any left, or you could make a medicine check if you have a medicine kit. We'll say one. Let's do 1 DC if you do, and a different DC if you don't.
I don't. I don't know how to do this. And I'm too afraid of using lay on hands and having it attack me.
Yep. So it is fading fast. But you're not in combat time, so how fast is
Right. I definitely look to. Oh, excuse me.
You got this.
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously, I'll have stood up by now. Yeah. I don't know the first thing about keeping people alive.
How about extraplanar animals?
Make a For you, Dimma, make a nature check. Nature or
Sure.
Arcana.
Oh, I actually have
Your
Arcana.
choice of nature or Arcana. Because
Meanwhile, Tanya's just gonna be walking around because there's at least one thrown dagger somewhere,
Yep.
and so she's gonna just try and find all of her.
Oh! I don't know why I rolled twice. The key thing is I rolled a 1.
You know nothing about blink dogs.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Also, I rolled a 1.
Yep. So
I know something about stickers, is what I'm saying.
yeah, no, exactly. I was about to do that too, so I'm switching over to the stream. For anybody on the stream, the way this works, again, one of us rolled a natural 1, which means I want to give away some stickers. So what I'm going to do in a moment is say a code word and then say the word go. Once I have said go, the first person to type the code word into the chat is going to win a set of stickers. So let's make the code word 2 words with a space, blink dog, go. And now we can continue, and I'll look at that in a minute.
Yeah.
So you do not know anything about blink dogs, bizarrely.
Nothing at all.
Yep.
Sad, but I've done nothing here.
And you're not a healer. You know that if you heal, you know that if you heal things with magic, they come back to life. That's or rather, they come back to consciousness if they're not yet dead.
Tanya, can you do anything?
Chew. Good timing.
I mean, I can hurt things.
Oh, fine. I'm going to use my last point of lay on hands on this dog and hope it doesn't bite me. Story of my life.
Yeah.
All right. So you're doing 1 point of lay on hands.
Yep.
All right. Let me add 1 HPs. And how about to see what happens here? Make an animal handling check.
Yep.
Oof.
Oof.
I'm
Actually,
gonna get bit.
yep. With that, what happens is, well, let me just actually find out one thing. Yep. The blink dog. Bamfs over here.
That's fine.
And cowers and licks its wounds, watching you all very warily.
Like it wasn't attacking us moments ago. Whatever.
Well, yeah, like it's afraid, in fact.
Yes.
I'll toss it some rations.
Rations are
I mean, we do have some. Maybe we have some fresh meat over here by the, our uneaten meal.
Yep.
oh yeah, you have like whatever you was going to be for breakfast, possibly leftover crabs.
Yeah, maybe Tanya had some of that. Whatever foodstuffs I have on me.
All right.
I'll just add a couple pieces of it towards it.
All right. Make an animal handling check with advantage.
$14.
It comes a little closer and grabs some of the crabs and walks back to this same spot. Like it comes forward to grab it and then kind of doesn't, backs up as far as it was before. It's still watching you all warily. What's that?
So as long as it didn't attack me, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's not attacking you. It's afraid. It's kind of licking its wound. It's kind of trying to figure out how to eat crab.
Did one of us already loot these other bodies?
Nope, no
Not
one
yet.
has.
Yeah,
Nope.
Tanya's gonna search them.
Assuming you search all the bodies, I will. Okay, so you got the each monk is so this will all be ×3. They each have a set of leather armor. That's fairly nice. They each have a hooked polearm, so a long weapon like a halberd, but with a hook on the end instead of a flat blade. They each have 17 gold, and each of them has a gem. One has a lapis lazuli, one has a blue quartz, and one has an azurite. So that's 3 more 10 GP gems.
Oh, does the half giant have a belt of half giant strength?
It has a belt.
Okay.
Yeah, they all have very plain, common or less clothing, which in the case of each of them would include a belt or rope around their waist.
Also, I rolled a 12 on my medicine check for this one. Is this person still
Oh,
alive?
sorry. Yes, you are sure that one is dead.
Okay. And I'm pretty sure these guys are dead, so I'm not going to
Yeah,
worry
there's not
about
really.
them.
You certainly don't find any signs of life, but you're sure that the monk is. It's a bad wound of some sort. I forget what took him down, but that one's dead.
Probably Nico.
Yep.
And so my goddess / mom, how does she feel about like people who do bad things dying? Like, should we pray over them? Should we be like, this is their fate, and kind of like move on?
Let's see. She would have a different perspective. So she would, and you can add stuff to this too. That's part of this is also your character's beliefs and how you want to play them. But I will say, she has respect for people who fight against each other. Your opponents are struggling against you. You're struggling against them. But ultimately, you want to win. They want to win. It's not bad to win, but you can show a degree of respect. I think that's probably what she cares about more.
Right, but also they were very underhanded with how they started the fight.
Yes, they were. Yeah. So if you think they were being dishonest, being dishonest, trying to trick people is not ideal. It's not. She wouldn't be like, burn their bodies, find their families, but she would not be impressed with their behavior.
Dimma, on the other hand,
how does Dimma feel about all this?
They were underhanded and yes, duplicitous. And I think there should definitely be some divine wrath on their, if not their actual families, their chosen families. Either one will do.
I see. So you want some sort of revenge for this whole thing.
I mean, it would make sense. Their chosen family would probably be that temple or whatever they're associated with that's all about the kidnapping of the people.
Exactly.
Yep. Everyone's welcome to make a, I don't remember, everyone's welcome to make a history check here.
Just making all the rolls I have no proficiency in.
Listen, I just like hearing dice roll.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
All right.
I'm very impressed by that because while I'm proficient in history, I still only have a +2.
Good job. So you are proficient, but not. That's great.
I have no other modifier other than proficiency.
Everything you learned from. So you would definitely know that their sort of behavior and clothing suggest that they are probably from the Byblos Citadel.
Wow, I think we almost went there.
I think, yeah.
So Tanya, after kind of like looting these bodies and seeing what's on them, she'll kind of like furrow her. I don't know. Do turtles have brows?
Yes,
brow line.
Definitely. Not eyebrows, but definitely a brow line. Yeah. No hair there. But I remember some of my favorite sea turtle friends, and they all have sort of a expressive face.
So she'll be like, so I've never seen them before, but there's this book I saw one time, and all the people were dressed in kind of like them and had items similarly. They were from the Citadel. I wonder, they may also be from the Citadel?
With that and the other roles, that would be enough for everybody to realize that they're probably, if they're out in the world, they're tasked with retrieving knowledge or other things that the Citadel finds useful, which may not be as clear.
I'm trying to decide whether it would be more appropriate for the knowledge that they retrieve to always come back, to harm them, right? For it to be bad that they got the knowledge, or for their luck to sour in acquiring the knowledge, that, they'll always find, the milk curdling when they are trying to stay over at inns, and it bears some thought.
So how you would curse them, in other words.
Perhaps something like that, yes.
If Dimma says this aloud, like, Nico's just gonna shrug.
Dimma Dima is musing over the fire to conspicuously to themselves.
Yeah, Nico is just shrugging as he's just like shoveling food in his stomach because he is so hungry after this fight.
Right.
Why
And
doesn't-
Lamia's not here, so he's eating her plate too.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Why doesn't everyone make for me a investigation check? Since you've
I'm
been sort of
terrible
looking
at
through
it.
the bodies and
Ooh. Mine's less good.
Look at that really high modifier that I have for that.
too high. Listen, that's good. Nico, are you going to make an investigation check too?
Yep.
Oh!
Nice.
It rolls so slowly for me.
And this is why you should always have a healthy breakfast.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, Dima's distracted
Yep.
by who to curse.
Yep. Know how to
yeah.
curse.
Or-
There's
yeah,
a difference.
Yeah, right, sorry. What curse they deserve.
Yes.
With that, Tanya would certainly realize that they have no essentials for traveling or camping on them. They only have the absolute minimum of their valuables, their weapons, their armor on them. They're very light. They're traveling very lightly. And with a 20, Nico would realize that they, and with it, combining that with the knowledge that you sort of think this could be some sort of retrieval team, if they had anything else, they would have had to stash it nearby.
Oh.
Okay. So, I mean, we could wait here a little bit, heal up, and then head over. Oh, we just head over now.
We'll head over where?
I mean, they've got to be nearby. We could probably figure out what direction they came from. Maybe, probably.
Gotcha. Yep. So you could take a short rest if you want. Is that what you're suggesting before you search?
I mean, that's what I'm suggesting, unless we think the group is gonna just like strike their thing and go. But this could be the entire group.
Gotcha. I'll leave that up to you all.
I am perfectly on board with a rest after this invigorating morning. Yes.
Okay. So a short rest would take you an hour and would allow you to spend hit dice to regain hit points. And potentially, I don't know if any of you regain any of your abilities on a short rest, but that may also be a thing. If you'd like
Yeah.
Yep.
A short rest won't do anything for Tanya, because I think the only thing that I have that would shift for me, I would need a long rest for my one rage that I use, and I have no hit points removed from me, so I feel like she might just kind of keep investigating around the area. She won't want to go too far away because she doesn't want something to show up between her and the camp. But especially if Nico mentioned that there might be something else nearby, she's gonna see if she can pick up other footprints or get an idea of maybe what direction they came from or something like that.
All right. So it sounds like, and this is really up to you, so I'm asking if this is what you're doing. It sounds like maybe Dima and Nico would take a short rest, which takes up to an hour, and that Tanya would use that time to search within earshot or eyesight of the others. Does that sound about right?
Yep.
All right, then the others of you may feel free to use our non-sponsor D&D Beyond's simple tool to take a short rest and spend hit dice as you like. They should sponsor us, though. We're great. And Tanya, I would like you to make a investigation roll with advantage because you're taking an hour to carefully search.
Cool. That sucks.
You get one more.
That was all right. I'll take a 15.
Oh, there you go. That's what you needed. You find, let me just see where it is. I'll make sure I get this right. Off, and I don't know if this will be on your screens, but off to the far left of the screen, behind some dunes across the stream, I'm pinging there. You will see a sack that has been buried under the sand. What do you do?
I will use my little turtle claws, and I will dig that sucker up.
Yeah, that's right. You're good at digging in the sand. Roll with advantage to dig. No, not really. All right. You find some things in there. You find a circlet made of gleaming, very shiny, blackstone. Like someone would wear on their head, but very simple. You find a an amulet that looks like a river stone with a hole drilled through it to put it on a very rough piece of twine. But what's interesting is that this stone has sort of a natural inclusion within it, different color of stone that looks like a sort of a four-pointed star with a cat's iris and pupil, roughly, on the stone.
Would that have an official WotC D&D name to it?
Not until actually, so no, none of these will until someone identifies them.
Okay. Got you.
For now, it is a circlet and an amulet. And there is also a gladius, a sort of shortish sword. It has a very gleaming blade. It's a straight two-edged blade, and then a hilt that is of a dark metal of some sort that is inscribed or like engraved with the shape of a key.
It's a keyblade?
It's a blade with a key in the hilt. A gladius specifically, and you find what looks like what someone in our world would call a railroad spike. So a very large black metal nail, the size of like a small dagger. That looks quite fiendish, in fact. You also find 4 bedrolls, 24 days of rations, and 4 water skins filled with fresh water, if you were to check. Stashed away from them. That is a good question, Tucker, that you put in the chat.
Right? I'm like,
And,
sorry,
and
go ahead.
you taking your full rest can go over these things, now that Tanya has found them during the course of the rest. We'll say it took the better part of an hour with the roll that she got, but while you're hanging out, Tanya has got a shopping bag full of loot.
She will grab all of these things and bring them back over to camp. And specifically to Dimma, because she thinks that Dimma might be able to identify what they are.
I don't know if Dimma can, but let's find out.
I don't know either, but she feels like that's a good bet.
Yep.
but like, why wouldn't they carry their weapons on them? Why would they hide them at their port site?
Make an intelligence check.
Int check it is.
Without making a check, I opine that they didn't think we were that much of a threat.
Wah, wah. That's an 8.
8. Maybe they didn't think you were that much of a threat. Maybe it wasn't their stuff. Not sure.
There's another hidden camp out here full of people waiting to mug us. God damn it. Mom, damn it.
Mom, damn it. Could Tanya determine whether that looked like something that could have been like buried there that day, or whether it's something that maybe was there like a week ago and somehow they like anticipated us being there, or
this stuff wasn't there long.
okay.
It's hard to tell otherwise. I'm using your
Hastily
investigation
buried.
roll. Yeah, to say it didn't seem like it was there long.
So sorry, you were asking me in particular about what?
Well, so there's this jewelry looking stuff
Pretty.
and this sword and whatever this spiky thing is.
You're a wizard. You must know what these do. I think.
Obviously, I know this is a bedroll, and this is food, and this is for water.
And you needed a new bedroll and water skin, right?
Yeah, technically, they're probably at the other campsite that she had.
Yeah.
That was like what, yesterday?
Yep. It was. It was
yesterday, a lifetime ago.
It was like last night. Although it doesn't even feel like that much time has passed. Yep.
Did you say there were gems there too, or was that they had gems in them?
Yeah, the gems were on the different monks. So there is.
Okay.
Let's see. So on the elder monk, there were some clothes that looked very nice. The scary palimpsest, 27 gold,
Yeah.
and I am expecting you folks to keep track of this once you decide who's carrying each thing to record it on your character sheets, by the way. There was on the Elder Monk also an obsidian and an agate, each worth 10 gold points. Total from the other monks, you got 3 sets of leather armor, 3 hooked pole arms. You got whatever 17 times 3 is gold, that's 51 gold. You got 3 more gems worth 10 GP each: a lapis lazuli, a blue quartz, and an azurite. And then from the hidden cache, you got a blackstone circlet, a riverstone amulet, a gladius, and a fiendish spike. 4 bedrolls, 24 days of rations, and 4 full water skins.
I activate my magic sight to try to see if there's anything interesting about the jewelry, the weapons, or anything else that I cast my gaze over.
Yep. All right. So the well, let me look actually. So the here's what I'm going to give you. The circlet is indeed made of blackstone. Actually, make for each of these, I'm going to have you make an Arcana check as well, so that we can see if you can delve more than. But off the blackstone circlet, you get a celestial aura, and it is magical.
Okay.
I think you get enchantment as the school, which isn't very helpful.
Okay.
And I think evocation as well. Actually, I'd give you that.
Okay, you were saying I should make an Arcana check?
Yeah, so let's first do an Arcana check for the Blackstone Circlet.
I think it's a Wisdom Arcana check, right?
Oh, no, that's for spells being cast. You would make a regular Arcana check.
Oh, cool. Okay,
that's
easier.
Sergey Arcana check of the Moscow Arcana checks.
Spooky something. Not very good.
All right, so yeah, all you really know about the Blackstone Circlet is that it is made of blackstone.
Yep.
It's remarkably clean for something that was buried under sand, even in a bag. Has a celestial aura and enchantment and evocation magic. For the next thing, the amulet, you can tell it's Fey immediately. And let's make your Arcana check to see how much more you can tell. I forgot nobody has identification, but this is like advanced. Yeah.
Oh, I think I'd mention that, right? I'd be like, oh yeah, I know a spell to identify things. All we need is a really valuable pearl.
Oh, is that true? Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You probably anyway, I see it.
Goes to the beach and starts digging around for an oyster.
Yeah.
Or clam or whatever.
That'd be amazing.
Obviously, I see this and I immediately think of some old fae and draw one of those very strong connections. My arcane sight basically is detect magic, right? Like, oh yeah, right. This reminds me of, the fae folk of the Underhill.
Actually, this specifically, actually, I'll give you this even with a failure because of who you are. This reminds you of the Crossroads.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely the Crossroads. Which is like a really important place, like one of those maybe a place that's sort of permanent or special. In this case, Between the Worlds, I guess is something you would know about that for free.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, so I'm obviously sharing all this.
Maybe
with
you
everyone.
get so distracted by the history of it that's why you don't identify the function of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are these people doing with something like this?
That is interesting, isn't it? You also rolled a natural 1 on a skill check. So I am going to, again, put out the call for people who might win stickers. So if you would like to win a set of stickers, all you need to do is in the chat, say the password, which I'm about to say. Let's make the password the single compound word Crossroads. Go. First person who types that into the chat could win a set of stickers.
Yeah.
Yay, good job on the natural 1.
Yeah. So you're asking what?
Congrats, Tricky Trident, on putting Crossroads in chat first.
Huh?
Oh, and was Tanya able to find all the thrown weapons, including my hand axes and daggers?
Oop, let me just send this person a message while I'm thinking of it, because I can actually see. Sorry, say again?
I said, did Tanya find my thrown weapons, the hand axes and daggers?
During
I went out looking for weapons that were tossed.
Yeah, we can say that's part of the same check and that you found all the missing weapons. I'm not interested in robbing you of your ammunition.
Sweet.
Although I'm sure Tanya is like, was this my dagger or was this your dagger?
Does it matter? Well, this one kind of looks like maybe it's a little bit older, and this one's like a little lighter. And like,
we both use them for stabbing.
Mm-hmm.
That's
There's
true. She
definitely
just hands you
distinctive styles, given that Nicodemus's stuff comes from the Temple of Eris. It looks like it was from Mom's coppersmiths or bronze smiths, I guess, probably.
Or her knife block.
Yeah. All right, just like. Oh, sorry. That's one's actually not meant to be used with dairy. I'm sorry. Let's see.
Yeah. So this is good find. This is weird.
Yeah, that is curious. Next, make an Arcana check about the Gladius. I love treasure.
Have you ever been to
episodes.
the Crossroads? I'm all over.
You're
this
still
Crossroads
distracted.
thing.
This is a magical sword of some sort. This sword is magical, and you get that a aura of the deep off of it.
Yeah.
Meaning the dark beneath.
Yeah.
But not much given that roll.
What does it mean for the Crossroads if Dream is falling apart?
Crossroads doesn't go there, so it's a good question. I'm assuming that yeah. I like that you're still on this, but I want to make sure the folks get the rolls too. So we're gonna keep moving through it, but let you keep musing because I think that works out really well.
There's more roll. I thought. Okay.
Yeah. Finally, an Arcana check on the Fiendish Spike. Actually, there's not finally. There's one more thing. One more.
Wow.
Because there's the. There we go. Now we're talking. All right, with the 20. Okay, so this thing is. It's fiendish. Literally, it's from hell.
Which is different from the deep.
So the deep is the place under the ground on the way to hell. The hells include things that would be considered fiendish, which includes the abyss and the inferno, as D&D puts it.
Yeah.
So this is a fiendish thing. This is from the hells. It is. It clearly would work as a dagger. Let's see, and it has another property that can only be used by a spellcaster.
Mm-hmm.
So it reeks largely of enchantment and just sort of raw magic.
Tanya takes it.
Nice.
I'm turning up my nose at it, right? Like, yeah.
Yep.
Like, Sherry would have done. I don't know if any of you would want that. Maybe your best.
Yeah. You also, let me just actually, I think, so let's see. This one, you also detect that it would need attunement, and you know that attuning with an item will also allow the person to identify it, which causes you to realize that the sword carries that same property, that it wants to attune to somebody, and when it does, they will know its full properties.
Wait, these people have some real spooky items, like this one that scares crap out of people. Do we really want to attune to items they didn't want to attune to?
Yeah, right. I'm certainly not attuning to any of this. I'll make my own magic items.
Actually, yeah, so let's see. So, well, with your roll on the spike, you can tell it's not cursed.
Whatever.
Yep.
This is like
you had a really
nice
good roll. Like, you're comfortable that it was made in hell, maybe forged out of some sort of metal there. But its magic is more arcane in nature from there.
It is not meant to punish the person for using it. But, yeah.
You're welcome to believe me, you're always welcome to remain anxious about any of the items I give you. All right. And finally, make an Arcana check on the palimpsest of horror.
Because that doesn't sound spooky at all.
So, this is the same one that was was set off?
Yes, this is the one that was
trident
used.
holes in it.
Yeah, this is the name I am giving for the scroll, what I previously called a scroll.
Ooh!
Oh, dang. Well, that's that is the one situation under which I will give you a full identify, because I don't want to give you the spell identify for free as a Wizard of Legend, but there is always a chance. So the first thing you sense off of the palimpsest of horror is both celestial and abyssal energy, like woven together. What do you know either of those languages?
I don't think so. Oh, yes, celestial.
All right, so you can tell that half of the language of this thing is celestial, but it's very old, and it is trying to defy being read. It's there, and it's celestial, but you don't really get the meaning of what's written so much as just it's complicated by the fact that there is something else, some other language there. Here's so let's see. It is conjuration magic.
Okay.
Specifically, this
That's
item,
also weird.
you may use it as an action. These once. I will ask you not to look for these by name because the full descriptions will be there. But once you have identified them, we can give them to your character sheets in D&D Beyond. They are set up as homebrew, and you'll be able to add them. Just don't sneak any peeks. So you can use it as an action. And I'm telling you this so you don't feel like you have to write it all down. All creatures within 120 feet must make a wisdom saving throw of a DC of 19. On either a success or a failure, no creatures within 120 feet can take an action for 1 turn. On failure, and if they fail to save, they are frightened.
Right.
And that originates at the point where the item was used until a successful save. You make the same save at the beginning of each. Sorry, at the beginning of each turn where you may take an action, you save against this item. Once that happens, the fear is gone. The screaming continues until nobody is affected by it. Once the user of the palimpsest, the person who activated the item, has saved versus fear, they must also save, or versus being frightened, which is a fear effect. They must also save versus horror. It's a charisma save, and the DC is 10 plus the number of turns that they were afraid.
Huh.
On a failure, the dungeon master may assign them some form of madness as an effect of that horror, per the horror rules in the dungeon master's guide. It currently has 3 out of 13 charges. 1 charge is used per person who fails the save. So you use it, and then once we see who's affected, that's how it loses charges. It can never go below 0. It works if it would get taken to 0. If you use the last charge, there's a roll that you make. I believe it's either a 1 or a 20. I wrote it down somewhere else. It will be destroyed if it is used up. There is one other ability, which is that it can also be used using 2 charges to activate the spell command on someone, but the command must be grovel.
Is that implies that if it isn't destroyed, it can be out of charges, but charges can be recharged in some way.
Oh, sorry, I forgot that. Yes, so every day at dawn, it regains a charge.
Okay.
And now that you know that, and you are carrying it, if you want, you can go to your equipment under magical items and search for Palimpsest of Horror and add it. Unless you're planning on making someone else carry it or leaving it behind.
I think I might be, yeah. Okay, so while I was thinking about the crossroads, I couldn't help looking at this thing, and so this seems like it's magic of the unmasked gods, right? Like you don't usually see your mom in all her glory, right? Avatars and stuff.
Ian?
Oh, as far as you know, you see your mother completely. But you would know that there is a theology that says that gods have a further intangible form, and that may be what he's talking about. I'm not it's up to you whether you believe that about your mom.
I'm like, well, I mean, I see her. There's people who say like there's like a beyond form, but I don't know. Mom never talks about it.
Right, well, so that's why it wouldn't be talked about, right? Because this is creation of the world stuff, especially if this is mixing, as it feels like it is, celestial and abyssal, right? This is like conjuring the fear that is associated with what it's like if you live in a neutral place when the gods are coming to shape it.
Oh, actually,
I think.
So that makes it. Let me just to make sure it's clear too. There is a celestial aspect and an abyssal aspect, and I realize with your role, you would specifically know that these are coming from a principality and a horror, which are things respectively from heaven and hell that are different from gods and even the highest demons. They're more abstract things that are from those places. A kind of god or kind of celestial, and a kind of fiend, or that's sort of beyond a fiend. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, never mind. Something less personified than your mom, then. But yeah, if this is a mixing of those, I don't know. That's either creation of the world stuff, or that's this should never happen stuff. These people should not be walking around with something like this.
Make a Arcana check, or actually make an Arcana check and an Insight check.
Cat. All right. There's my Arcana. And there's my Insight.
Oh, for a second, one of your dice was just hanging out on the 20, and I got really excited. But
yeah.
All right. So with that Insight check, you were hearing the screams of a horror, not screams because of a horror.
Oh, I would not have guessed that.
Right. Yep. And that dawns on you as you're thinking all of this through. Because you heard it, I had to give you that roll.
Yep.
And because you might actually know what one of those is like, given your...
Yep.
Yep. So that's a thing.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's all of my guesses for now. I'm gonna be musing here for a while. Oh, wait! This is probably not the kind of circumstance where we want to, like, sit and muse for 3 years, is it? Because, 3 years and 3 days. That feels like about the amount of think I need to have.
Well, we probably should start going to that town, especially since Lamia clearly has gotten the head start. We'll probably want to go meet up with her there.
Oh, right.
Yeah. While Dimma was musing, like, can Nico strike the camp?
Like pack up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a practical thing. So let's assume that we don't need, unless you have things you want to do in this, let's assume that you can successfully pack up the camp. That means if you want, I would say that if you wanted to take either of the 2 tents that you found here with you, I'd say there's probably 1 tent in movable working order between them.
Oh, right. This was
these were like left here. Yep.
We established like these were abandoned tents, or like tents people might come back to.
I don't think you figured that out, but they seem like they had been abandoned for quite some time, like long enough to be weathered.
Tanya will grab one.
Yeah, I mean, if it's been quite some time, we'll take the 1 tent that we can actually strike.
Yep. Actually, let's do this. Make a dexterity check.
All right, dexterity check.
Nice.
This is a way to add some randomness and skill into deciding something that I was originally going to... Now I have to wait for the die to land. Okay. With a 17, you can get both of the tents. There is 1 large tent, 1 small tent that you can clean up.
I added 1 to my inventory.
You're going to need some more rope or something, but you have that, so yeah.
I'll take the smaller tent, because I'm smaller.
Yeah, so you can each add a tent to your... 2 of you can add tent to your inventory. Yeah.
Yep.
Why would a principality be involved in summoning conjuring right screams of a horror? This makes no sense.
I feel like Tanya...
It's something for mortals to be using.
I feel like... Oh, wait a second. We still have a tied up person.
You do.
And a blink dog, because I was going to be like, oh, I'm sure Tanya and Nico are just like kind of like pushing Dimma along.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a blink dog. It's moved a little. Like behind this hill.
Yeah.
Say
all right, I'll hold on to this this horror scroll unless anyone else terribly wants to. I'm not happy with it, but there's further study. But I want other people to carry those gross weapons or just bury them.
Yeah, I mean, we can hold on to them. I'm not tuning myself until we know more information.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will just ask. We have about 15 minutes left of the game, which is perfect for you to, or a little bit more if you want. But that's our sort of wrap up time. You have time to talk to the elder monk if you have a way to heal her, and to decide who is going to carry each of these things, and then we can do a little bit of a wrap up depending on how much time that takes from there.
Tanya has no way to heal anybody other than attempting medicine checks.
I'm out of
stabilize.
Oh, actually, did you make any attempt to stabilize the elder monk, or did you tie them up?
No, you told me that they were stable. I would have tried to stabilize.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Did you? Okay, if they're still, we'll assume that they're stabilized at 0.
Yeah.
That works under the circumstances. I'm going to assume that because because of their resilience and the fact that you didn't like try to kill them at the end once they were down,
Right.
that they are at 0 HPs.
And actually, we took the time to short rest. They're probably okay.
Oh,
at
that's
this
yep.
point.
You're right. Actually, yeah. So I will. I'm gonna.
Nice. Solved it with time.
Yep. So let's say that someone make a perception check to see how long it takes you to realize that they're.
Demo just doesn't.
16.
All right. So the best roll is.
Sounds about right. 9.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So it's you as you're sort of like who's gonna take this stuff. Let's say that it was, yeah, so it's probably in game, it was actually Tanya who said, oh yeah, we have a tied up monk. And look, the monk is sort of breathing better, probably semi-conscious when you notice. Still bleeding, but no longer bleeding out, seems to have recovered a bit. But isn't saying anything to you, is tied up and is lying in the sand,
As
enjoying
fair.
being horizontal. Does anyone...
Does Nico, do you get lay on hands back with a short rest, or is it a long rest?
It's a long rest.
Oh.
They look less hurt.
Can I do a medicine check to see if they're actually conscious and faking it?
Oh, you can do medicine check for sure.
All right. Making rolls and things I'm not proficient in.
This is a relatively low.
Oh my god.
Oh no, I think they died.
What did you roll? Oh, yes. Yeah. You think they died.
Okay, well, Tanya's gonna be like, that can't
Yeah.
be true, and can I roll a medicine check?
Yes. Yes, you can.
I think they died and turned into stickers.
Exactly right. Oh, well. Wait. Y'all are great. Well, that's a 5. So with a 5, you can tell they're not dead.
Calm down, they're not dead, but
Yeah.
they're basically the next level up from that.
Yeah, they are. They're. Yeah. That's what you get.
Yeah.
So for anyone watching, we have a chance to give away another set of stickers. The same person can't win 2 sets of stickers per show. So if you've already won, I guess I should have said this before. Please don't sticker snipe. Yeah, that's it. But we have an opportunity to give away some more stickers. So in a moment, I'm going to give you a keyword, a code word, and the first person to type that into the chat after I say the word go is going to win a set of Heroes of 4 Worlds stickers. So the password is going to be unconscious. Go.
How do you spell those?
That's up to them.
Very carefully.
They have to spell it correctly, though, to win, I guess. Yeah, we'll say that, sure. So you've got a possibly unconscious, definitely alive monk. What do you do now? I will say that I will want you to decide who is going to carry each of these items, and are you going to wake up or carry the monk before you are considered to have left the camp? Or who's going to carry the items, or are you going to dump them?
I mean, they can just dump all the items in Nico's bag, and he can carry the monk as well.
So Nico is offering to carry the bag full, or your bag, I guess, full of all the items.
Yeah, I mean, the bedrolls, maybe Tanya can do it because they're kind of bulky.
She's like, stuff them in her shell.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
she
right.
must have some other way of strapping stuff to her back or something.
Yeah. I imagine it being like you can like take 2 pieces of rope and just like do
Oh,
like
put it through
a
her- like, put
multiple,
it-
and then it just like cascades down her back with bedrolls.
And some leather armor that we've kind of stacked in each other.
Yeah, it's all stuffed in there.
Like
All right.
Russian nesting dolls.
All right.
Mhm.
So we haven't identified any of the items except for the palimpsest.
Yeah,
Which
and
is-
that
so is-
demo will hang on to.
So
as discussed.
if Nico's carrying, so you're going to carry the palimpsest, so you can add it in D&D Beyond because it's identified. Nico can write down that you have. Let me just get the name, the temporary names until I give you the identified names. So you have a circlet, an amulet, a gladius, and a spike.
Yep.
And amongst you, make sure you account for 4 bedrolls, 24 days of rations, 4 water skins that are full, all the other loot I mentioned. Yes. So with that, you're going to take the monk and the treasure and head to the road and towards town?
Yep.
All
Oh,
right.
cool. We're gonna do our questioning like later.
I mean,
Well,
what
it seemed
we
to
don't
be.
think
If you want to question them, you can. But it seemed
But
like you were
we
making
don't
plans to
think
carry.
that she's conscious, so that really doesn't
Oh yeah.
work.
Okay. Yep. All right. Off
Actually, as you pick her up, Nico, she groans. She's conscious. She's just unwell, hurting, and sort of like stoic, like trying not to say anything to you, like not trying to pretend to be out, just like I'm a prisoner now.
we go. She was pretty stoic before too.
Yes.
He'll set her down and say, Dimma, I think she's awake.
She nods.
Do you have protocols for this? You must. You don't want mine, is what I'm trying to tell you. I tell you as a friend.
Are you saying this? Are you saying this to the monk or to Nico?
Nico.
Okay.
I don't know. This was never in the rule books. Had to deal with somebody who tried to kidnap your friend.
Right. Speaking of the people who are the ones who try to kidnap your friend, and then sometimes capture the ones who come to rescue them, we don't want to use my methods.
I'm so much better as the good cop. Oh, man.
That's what you should be.
Dimma's definitely being bad cop.
While y'all are like talking, Tanya's gonna be like, "Why are you trying to get our friend?"
Because I want her to be safe there too.
That's true. She comes from another world, and coming here, she is not entirely safe. And it is our duty to protect valuable information. Until she's thinking carefully about how to say this.
You see her as a source of knowledge, not as a person.
She's also a person. We would like to keep her alive. We are not hateful people. It is important that the wisdom she has does not die with her. It is important that it is not lost in the world.
But what's more important to you, her knowledge or her life?
If I knew her, I could honestly say her life. She is a stranger, so I do not know her nature, so I do not know the answer.
What happens now?
I believe that is largely up to you.
If somehow you were able to leave here, what would you do?
I would return home, and I would report my failure.
And then what happens?
The same thing that will happen eventually, whether I return home or not, which is that more capable, and she looks sad, disappointed, members of my order will come to retrieve her.
Is there a point where they would do that anyway? I'm thinking, like
Exactly.
Tanya's thinking, like
She said
if
that.
she doesn't return, well,
She nods. No, that's exactly right. If I return now, then we will begin planning now. I presume I will no longer be as involved in the planning, except as a source of information. Or when a certain amount of time passes and I do not return to the Citadel, I would imagine that another retrieval force will be sent on the assumption that we were defeated and killed. It does me no good to hide these facts from you.
Dimma idly begins making a small doll out of some rags and like just like little fabric-y knickknacks and maybe some twigs and such which they have just like idly while they're thinking.
All right. Can I do a knowledge religion check to see if I kind of know what she's talking about?
I think it would be a history check.
All right. History check it is. Hey!
All right. So I will, pull back the curtain of her wording. Yeah. So this, it is perfectly sensible that having been sent to retrieve you, if this group failed, they would send a stronger group. It also is likely that they now need to retrieve the items that you have, under the assumption that it's true that this group was retrieving those items as well.
Oh.
So this group, remember, this group is passionate about finding dangerous knowledge and keeping it from the world, and
or using it,
and finding useful knowledge and keeping it for themselves is how they present themselves.
Right. Well, no, I was trying to understand more about the organization, if I've heard of them before, and just trying to understand, like, how deep does this cult go, and, like, is this person better off if we kill them or imprison them, or just sending them back to do the merciful thing?
They are spoken about as people who work in shadows and aren't known well. They're not spoken about as being evil or corrupted in any direct way. From the perspective of your religion, they have a very strange quest, but they are not, they're not really seen as either good or evil.
They're neutral.
From that perspective, they're very fanatical about a very specific thing.
Tanya will look at the monk and ask, so do you know what was all in this bag?
Yes, we recovered those items earlier in our journey. So
what are they?
What I know is that there is a circlet that is celestial and arcane in nature, that allows one to, I believe, activate a spell. There is an amulet that comes from the crossroads of the worlds that is fairy in nature, that allows some awareness, I believe. There is a gladius that is magical in nature, that is very deadly. And there is a spike that was crafted in hell that can be used by spellcasters to increase the strength of their spellcasting in some way. They're all ancient. It was felt that they should be not traveling the surface of the world, that they should be in our archives. And so we were sent to retrieve them.
Tanya kind of looks at that demo to confirm.
That all jibes with what Dim has said.
Yeah,
anyone who wants to is welcome to make an insight check.
Yeah, I'll check out
to see if this person is lying or anything. Ooh. All right, Tanya could tell that there was something being covered in that description, but no sign that any of it's untrue.
Is there something else that you're not telling us about these items or why you're here?
My job is to protect knowledge. I would rather not, whether I live or die, be guilty of giving away more than absolutely necessary.
So yes.
There is more that I know. There is much more that I know. I am not going
Tanya's like, you need to talk plainly with me.
You can actually, with your insight, you can tell this person is largely speaking plainly. They're just, little. They're not your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
They're speaking plainly about the fact that they are a KG person, also, which is an interesting subtlety. I think we should bring her with us, especially if she'd be willing to share her name. We're going to a place of learning, after all. Perhaps some better agreements could be reached.
It would be against my orders to share with you my name.
There are many things you could. There are many ways that you could be addressed. Then there's no need to be rude.
I agree. My title is Elder, so in the same way that one might call someone Sir or Madam, you could call me Elder.
Aw, Elder, very nice.
There's a strange combination of bookishness and like a soldier when they're captured. They're not going to give away, not giving away any absolutely necessary intelligence. Probably giving away more than a soldier would, but being very careful about it. And not going to give their, apparently in this case, not giving their name, rank, and serial number is part of their rules.
Forgive me if I seem distrustful, but I have trouble with your word if we untie you and have an understanding. You did ambush us with invisible people after all.
That is sensible.
Either way, we probably should get moving. Lamia's out there with Maraaja all by herself.
In which we probably shouldn't take this person with us.
No, I think she clearly is no longer has the group support needed to abduct someone. Better to have her reporting back later. That will buy us a little bit more time for a plan.
The longer it takes for her to get back to the Citadel, the more time we might have.
Well, I guess I can just keep carrying her on my back if I can't trust her not to bolt.
At this point, everyone can make an insight check. See if they glean any reactions.
Also, what does the blink dog do during this time?
Watching very closely, still kind of licking its wounds and occasionally licking crabs instead. It seems to be has decided not to leave, but it is not neither. But it is sort of keeping its distance.
No.
Insight. Nothing great with any of those. This person is being largely honest, but has been open about being cagey, and that tracks. Is also trying to be somewhat stone-faced so that they don't give away their reactions to your different ideas.
I would be comfortable, if you don't want to just carry, with doing the old tied hands walk thing. It's one of the old
The elder
ways.
nods at that if you're asking them. They're okay with that plan.
All right, Nicodemus will adjust the ropes. I guess we'll travel on and see if this blink dog follows us.
All right. So now, yeah. So as you, I'm assuming that you do a reasonable job of tying this person up, sort of around their hands and maybe hobbling their feet a little so that they can walk but not run. The blink dog follows at a safe distance. Keeps sort of 30, 40 feet away from the group, but seems to be following. Not actually. Well, is that an insight check? Make your choice of an insight or animal handling check, I guess, to get a read on this dog.
They're both the same for me.
Gonna roll them.
Nice.
Woohoo!
That's pretty good.
Oh, you rolled. Yep. Oh, so you all. Let's see. I don't see Tanya's, but the rest give us enough. So
yeah, and I don't. Well, I guess I could do insight.
Yeah, the
It's way better than animal handling.
Yeah, with those rolls, they're all quite good. The dog is following the monk. The dog works for the monk. The dog is afraid or at least wary of you, but not so much so that they will run away completely like the other one did. So they are sort of that's my boss, that's my owner. I guess I follow them. Doesn't fully understand the situation. Is a dog, or is a dog-like creature. Since blink dogs aren't dogs, but the person who would have known what they are rolled delightfully, we'll say. Actually, I just want to check something. Actually, yeah, and with that you can tell this is a very intelligent dog. This is not a dumb animal.
Right. Yeah, because blink dogs are at least human level intelligence. Everyone knows that.
Right. Yes, and you do know that.
At least as far as Dim is concerned, everyone knows that. That's why they were enemies, just like everyone else.
Right. Yep. The shape doesn't really determine the intelligence here. Exactly. Yeah. All right. So with that, you set out. I'm going to do a little bit here of narration. So you make your way along the road. It's a quiet day, and you have your prisoner. You have your loot. You've left some bodies behind, and you're being followed by a lone dog-like creature. You come over a hill eventually and see down into the beautiful town of Colophon. Colophon overlooks the sea. There are fairly large docks. There's a few of them, large enough for shipping vessels to dock here and bring goods in and out. There are warehouses near the water, but there are also hills covered with houses and other buildings. It's sort of whitewashed effect. The buildings look sort of smooth, like they've been made of clay and painted white, or perhaps made of stone and covered over with some sort of a stucco or whitewash. You see a lot of buildings that look like almost like squat silos in a way, circular buildings with a domed roof, simple windows and doors cut into them, and often brightly colored roofs, mostly blue, but not only blue. There are a few other colors smattering among the buildings here. There are a few buildings that are larger. There are some, there's an area of town that has 3 or 4 story buildings together, and then a larger, not necessarily multi-story building, but multiple stories high, columns surrounding it, and a large area underneath where people seem to be discussing and trading and going in and out as if it's a building that is an open air place. You see people mostly wearing simple but nice clothing, styles like togas, dresses, wraps, mostly in white, but again, none of the colors are completely consistent. Some are quite beautiful, bold colors. There are statues of various gods throughout the area that are mostly painted very bright, bold, almost over-the-top colors. And the smell of the sea is in the air as you come into Colophon. And as you start to step into the town, a naked satyr woman runs out of a sort of simple home shouting, "Eureka! Eureka!" And we will leave things at that until next time. Which means it's time to wrap up the show, everyone. Let's see if I do this in the right order. That's all of our time for tonight, as you might have guessed, since I did a little button there. I just wanted to remind everyone that you can subscribe to our Twitch, and it's cool if you do that for a few reasons. So if you like the show, definitely remember to follow us here on Twitch so you get notified when the show comes on Saturdays and when my other streams happen. If you subscribe to support the show, you will get cool stuff like you get all of our emotes and you can get some badges and some things. You also now, as a Twitch sub, get access to the Discord, just like the Patreon members. You also, by subscribing, help support the show. And The Fourth Place, which for anyone who doesn't know, is a very small business run mostly by me with the help of community members like the cast of this show. If you have Amazon Prime, you can use your trial to get 1 free Twitch sub at a time per month, or you can continue to renew the same one. So if you have Amazon Prime and you'd like to support us with a few free bucks a month, you can do that by using your trial to subscribe. It'll walk you through it if you click the subscribe link on the channel. That is the stuff I'd always like to say at the end. And with that, I will give the last word collectively to the players for the most part. As we say goodnight, Cage, any words from you?
Yeah, thanks all for watching. I'm Cage, and I've been Tanya, the Turtle Barbarian, for you today.
Totally.
You can find me and everything that I do at my website, ragecagerugger.com. That also includes my new copper bestseller on the DM's Guild called The Brewski Jubilee. And I will also be in a podcast one-shot by the Evenfell podcast that will launch, or that will be released next week. So if you want to hear me in another D&D thing, I'll be a part of that special one shot from them.
Normally I would say never trust a copper, but I think the adventure is worth checking out. Do that. I assume there's a link from your site to the DM's Guild.
If you go to my creative projects, underneath publications, you'll find the Brewski Jubilee. Awesome. You can also just look up the Brewski Jubilee on the DM's Guild as well.
Tucker, what kinds of dogs have we seen? I thought I saw a Cavalier King Charles at one point. Do you have one of those?
That's actually one of my clients.
Oh, they're great dogs. We had one in my workplace at one point. Any other words from you besides me grilling you on dogs?
Hi, my name is Tucker. This is Artie. He's mine. And I play Nicodemus, the most befuddled paladin on the 4 worlds. You can find me on Twitter at Tucker Wolf and on Twitch at Tucker Wolf 610. Ian will put the numbers up or whatever. Probably did not blame him.
So one of them is already on there, and those are both correct from my memory. Let's see, what do we show? We show at Tucker Wolf on Twitter on the stream, and it is Tucker Wolf 610 on Twitch because I follow you, so I happen to know that.
Excellent.
Any last words from Eric?
I'm Eric. I've been playing Dima, who is now trying to see if he can recreate the ancient art of making a fetch, but when he's not currently in Feywilds.
Yes, I look
For
forward
reasons.
to seeing Dima try all sorts of ancient Fey magic and curses that he doesn't currently have access to as spells, so we can see what happens there.
Have a good night.
Yeah. Normally, Clove gets the last word. She's not with us tonight, so I get the last word, which is just to say, see you in 2 weeks, which will be our next adventure in the seaside town of trade and philosophers and other weirdos, Colophon, which means I suspect we will have a character-heavy episode with the all-important keyword shopping, which is usually what happens when characters get into town. So see you in 2 weeks. Good night.
Bye. Thank you.